Welcome to Elite Purge the Heretics in-house P. First thing, a little fun trivia about this quest, and you probably already know this, but if you didn't, the quest giver is Inquisitor Nomon inside the Backwater Tavern, and he is the same quest giver as for Lords of Dust in the harbor, and he's the guy that turns into the Rakshasa at the end of the quest. Alright, so level 8, life 2. Let's see what we got for equipment now. On the goggles, still got resistance 4. Now, I don't have a resistance 5 crafted because that does require a significantly more expensive ingredient. It's the little mythical, I think it's a mythical vessel that you get from Restless Isles. I don't have a ton of them, and for the couple levels, I'll just wait until like level 9 and get a randomly generated one. This is kind of a neat item, Elemental Mithril Breastplate. This comes out of the end chest of Tempest Spine. This is a nice armor for Warlock. It's light armor, and it's a little bit better. I crafted a +5 skirmish chain mail, so this would be, I guess, the best that you could craft, the highest armor that you could craft, and you can see this has an armor bonus of 10 versus the Elemental Mithril Breastplate has an armor bonus of 14. So a little bit better. We got a couple slots too. I have it slotted up with Defense 6 and the Master's Gift. So pretty cool item. If you're doing a bunch of Warlock lives, that may be something you might be interested in trying to get out of Tempest Spine. Still got the Braces of Wind for a permanent blurry and Ring of Greater False Life. That's something new since the last video. Dexterity 5 on the boots. Strength 4 on the gloves. That's just 4 instead of 5 because 5 would just put me at an odd number anyways. Charisma 5 on the ring. Con 4 on the belt. Cloak of Flames, wonderful item here. I've talked about this in the last video. Don't forget that there is a Caneth Challenge item that does spell power and critical chance for all the damage types of the 3 packs: fire, acid, and sonic. So you get your blasting chime for sonic, cloak of flames for fire, and your rock boots for acid damage. Those are really, really nice items. In addition to spell power and critical chance, they also have other goodies on there as well. And you can craft onto them. You can see I've added feather falling onto this. Very, very cool item. In the trinket, just got good luck +2, crafted onto a shard of power from the shroud. Evocation Focus 2 necklace, heavy fort on the helmet. And for a shield, just using a +3 Darkwood Shield of Invulnerability. Gives me some DR. For the weapon, got the +60 Impulse. Gonna go over enhancements. Oops. So I picked up the 3rd innate ability, which is Stanch, and this is an interesting ability. It's a little scary. You could get carried away with it, but for 7 depravity, and those are those things that you build up when you damage enemies, the counters that you build up when you damage enemies with your Eldritch Blast. For 7 depravity, you gain temporary hit points equal to 50% of your maximum hit points. Very cool. They last 1 minute. And then after that 1 minute, you get -3% maximum hit points until you rest. So, and it stacks up to 33 times. So, emergency healing, maybe. I mean, that's definitely one use for it. I guess just don't get carried away with that. So, what do we got for enhancements now? The new stuff, this is one that's exciting. Penetrating Blasts. Sounds dirty. So this says that this is an essence stance as opposed to like a blast stance. I talked about this a little bit before in the video. There are 2 different kinds of stances. There's the essence stance and there's like a shape stance, and you can be in one of each. So in this one, your Eldritch Blast damage is piercing damage instead of force damage. So piercing damage, it's untyped. So nothing can resist it. I don't know if PRR or DR is going to affect that, but untyped damage is definitely where you want to be, and that would be affected by impulse spell power. Just like a Blade Barrier, for example, is untyped. And this also gives you plus 1d6 base Eldritch Blast damage. And then I'm all the way up here to the 4th tier of plus 1d4 pack damage. Each one of these gives plus 1d4 pack damage. And then another cool thing is the Bewitching Blast. Your Eldritch Blast has a 10% chance to confuse non-boss monsters for 6 seconds. So every one of my blasts and all the chains that are flying around everywhere have a chance to confuse monsters. And just picked up the Agent of Good here, and then the +1 weapon Harper enchantment, and that does give +3 to universal spell power because it does increase the implement bonus of the weapon I'm using. And I started putting some points over here just because I wanted another point of charisma. Alright. It's a pretty short quest. One of the things I like about the chain shape is that, you know, it bounces off of mobs wherever they're at, and so it can kind of warn you that mobs are coming up from behind you. If you see it shooting a little blue beam behind you, you know there's something coming up. So I'm already, you know, at level 8, I'm kind of tired of the whole Eldritch Blast thing. I mean, it just feels a little bit like the Shirati caster. And as I was talking about before, you know, like I don't play my Sork anymore because I just got bored of it. Bored of the Shirati caster thing. You know, it was like tons of fun for a couple months. But it seems like Warlock would be really good for like somebody who's newer to DDO. I mean, obviously a lot of people are going to like it. But it seems like it'd be a good class for somebody who's newer. Because you don't have a ton of spells to choose from. So there's, you know, not a lot of confusing stuff, and you just blast, blast, blast. And that is that. Pretty quick quest. Not very much XP, but considering that it just takes a couple of minutes to run, it's worth doing. So let's see if I could demonstrate something here I mentioned before, and if you played Warlock you know about this, but it just doesn't update targets fast enough. So after one target is dead or destroyed in the case of breakables, it doesn't want to update to the next target immediately, and it tends to want to just send the next blast off into, you know, the floor or the ceiling or something like that. So I'm going to try to demonstrate that here since we've got a bunch of breakables. The first one breaks, second one goes into the floor, then it breaks, then it goes into the floor, then it breaks, then it goes into the wall, then it breaks, then it goes into the wall. So it's not updating to the next target fast enough. You know, you have one wasted blast between each target, which kind of sucks. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. And if you happen to be on Saralona, you are welcome to send me a tell.